Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you've spent the last 6 months mildly panicking about how to optimize for ChatGPT and Perplexity without totally destroying the Google rankings you've spent years building, well, take a deep breath. You are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to walk through 5 essential strategies that will help you actually increase your brand's AI visibility, all without accidentally tanking the search authority you've worked so hard for.
It's a totally valid anxiety, right? I mean, we are seeing marketers basically everywhere watching their organic traffic just plateau or even drop off. And honestly, the most frustrating part? They're watching competitors start to outrank them. And we aren't just talking about traditional Google pages, but in those conversational AI-generated answers where users are actually making direct buying decisions. You know for a fact you need to show up in those AI responses, but the old SEO playbook, it just isn't working the same way anymore.
All right, let's dive right into this. We have 6 parts on the agenda today. 1. The AI search shift. 2. The content volume trap. 3. Measure and broaden visibility. 4. Test before you publish. 5. Build credibility and expertise. And finally, 6. Balancing AI and SEO.
Okay, starting with Section 1, the AI search shift and how buyer behavior is actually changing.
I want you to think about this number for just a second. 20. Because for literally 20 years, SEO pretty much meant one thing, right? Keeping the Google gods happy. If buyers searched for your category and they found you, you were doing it right. But today, buyers are bypassing that gatekeeper entirely. They're going straight to systems like Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity for comparisons, shortlists, and highly specific recommendations. The entire model has fundamentally shifted.
Moving on to Section 2, the content volume trap, or what I like to call the dangerous quick fix.
You know, whenever search behavior shifts, a dangerous quick fix usually follows right behind it. As Bodium Labs warns us here, companies tend to panic. You use AI to churn out hundreds of articles just to fill visibility gaps. But doing this creates incredibly thin pages. It just repeats what everyone else on the internet has already said. And worse, doing this actually turns your domain into a content mill, actively destroying the SEO authority you've spent years meticulously building.
And honestly, here is the ultimate irony of the whole situation. AI retrieval systems, they are smart enough to just completely ignore those low-value pages anyway, so you're literally risking your brand's reputation for zero reward. What you actually need is strategic quality. You need highly targeted updates that maintain a strong domain, because AI systems prioritize retrieving content that's backed by clear expertise and wider corroboration.
Which brings us to Section 3, measure and broaden visibility. These are strategies 1 and 2. So, strategy number 1 is all about understanding how AI actually sees you today. Because, let's face it, you cannot close a gap that you haven't measured. You have to stop guessing. Sit down and choose the exact categories and prompts your buyers actually use. Then, you log the results across ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity. Do you appear at all? Are you being framed using your competitor's language? You want to trace exactly where a rival appears and note which sources the AI model actually relied on to mention them. Doing this takes your vague anxiety and turns it into a concrete, fixable scorecard.
Now, for strategy 2. Look, AI search absolutely has not killed technical SEO. It has just widened it. Strategy 2 is all about giving AI crawlers a crystal clear roadmap. That means keeping your category pages crisp, using plain text headings, and pulling your most important claims out of your images and putting them into actual text. And please check your robots.txt file. You would be amazed how many brands are accidentally locking the front door on the exact AI bots they are desperately trying to court.
All right, Section 4, test before you publish. This is strategy number 3. Instead of just executing blindly and hoping for the best, you've got to make smart, tested decisions before you hit publish. Leading applied AI labs are now literally using LLM simulators and AI interpretability techniques to figure out exactly why a brand is missing from AI answers. They test which specific changes will actually move the needle before doing the work. You might find out you don't even need a new blog post. Maybe you just need to correct an outdated claim on your main product page, or maybe update a stale Wikipedia entry. You really have to make every single page and update count.
Next up is Section 5, build credibility and expertise, covering strategies 4 and 5. For strategy 4, it's all about building the sources that AI systems actually cite. And here is a massive mindset shift you have to make right now. Your website is no longer the center of the universe. AI pulls heavily from the wider web. The mentions that carry the absolute most weight look like earned press and third-party validation. For example,
Gemini loves citing YouTube videos. ChatGPT and Perplexity, they often cite Reddit and review sites. So if you want real AI visibility, you have to treat traditional PR, earned media, and active engagement on third-party industry forums as totally foundational to your search strategy.
And that actually brilliantly illustrates strategy 5, which is captured perfectly in this quote from Jared Starkey. 2 years ago, you wrote content to rank a whole page based on keyword density. Today, the target is the passage. Retrieval systems pull out a very specific chunk of content to answer a question directly, and they often do this without the user ever actually visiting your site. Your writing must work as a complete, self-contained answer. Ranking well on Google and getting cited by a large language model are simply not the same outcome anymore.
So how exactly do you optimize for the passage? Well, by leaning heavily into what AI absolutely cannot fake. Sure, generative AI can spit out an 800-word definition in like 3 seconds. But you know what it can't do? It cannot conduct a real expert interview. It can't experience a customer's actual success story. And it definitely can't generate original empirical research. You have to stop writing fluff and start naming actual product trade-offs. Honest, human-led pages that genuinely help a buyer make a decision will almost always get cited by an AI.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, balancing AI and SEO and building the new foundation.
Look, if there is one single core takeaway from this entire explainer, it's this right here. Judgment is greater than volume. Because generative AI has made average run-of-the-mill content incredibly cheap, your human judgment, your unique expertise, and your selective publishing, those are now your most valuable marketing assets. You really should publish less, but make absolutely sure every single page is a definitive claim that your domain proudly supports.
I want to leave you with this final, slightly provocative thought. Take a really close look at your own digital footprint today, and ask yourself honestly, is your brand's AI visibility built on solid, undeniable expertise that AI systems are literally forced to cite? Or are you just churning out empty volume? It might be time to sit down and run that gap analysis. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will get you in the next one.